By early 1944, World War II had reached a critical stage. Germany had controlled much of Europe for nearly 4 years. The Allies, primarily the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada, were preparing a massive invasion to open a new front in Western Europe. The goal was to liberate France, weaken German forces, and ultimately defeat the Nazi regime. This plan became known as Operation Overlord. The Allies had to choose a landing site carefully. Normandy was selected for several reasons: beaches with suitable terrain, distance from heavily defended ports, and proximity to England for air and naval support. Among the 5 beaches chosen, Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword, Omaha Beach was considered the most dangerous. Its cliffs, fortified bunkers, and heavily armed German troops posed a serious threat. The beach stretched over 5 kilometers of sand, with obstacles designed to stop landing craft and soldiers. Mines, wooden stakes, and metal hedgehogs littered the shore. The German defenders were prepared. Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, commander of the Atlantic Wall, had strengthened Omaha with bunkers, machine gun nests, and artillery positions. His goal was to repel any landing attempt and inflict maximum casualties. German troops had been trained to fire on the first wave of soldiers in the surf and use the natural terrain to their advantage. Observation posts on the bluffs gave them clear sight lines over the entire beach, making every movement of Allied soldiers visible. Allied commanders, including General Dwight D. Eisenhower, carefully coordinated the attack. The plan involved air and naval bombardment to weaken defenses, followed by waves of soldiers landing in Higgins boats. Yet intelligence underestimated the strength of German fortifications at Omaha, making the landing far deadlier than anticipated. Approximately 34,000 troops were assigned to Omaha Beach on D-Day. They faced nearly 12,000 German defenders, well-positioned and ready to fire on incoming soldiers. The timing of the landing was critical. Early morning, just before dawn, the tide was rising. Soldiers and landing craft had to approach quickly to avoid obstacles, but carefully to minimize exposure to enemy fire. Heavy fog and smoke from naval bombardment added to the chaos, making coordination difficult. Soldiers were briefed on their objectives: secure the beach, move inland, and capture the bluffs overlooking Omaha. Achieving these goals was essential to allow follow-up forces to land safely on the other beaches. Training and preparation for the landing had been intense. Soldiers practiced amphibious landings in England, rehearsing navigation, timing, and coordination with naval bombardments. Yet, nothing could fully prepare them for the reality of Omaha Beach. When the first waves hit the sand, the combination of strong currents, machine gun fire, artillery, and obstacles created near-impossible conditions. Many soldiers drowned before reaching the shore, while others were cut down as they advanced. The stakes were enormous. A failed landing at Omaha could jeopardize the entire Normandy invasion. Supplies, reinforcements, and the broader plan to liberate Western Europe depended on success at this critical point. Soldiers understood the danger. Many wrote letters to family before boarding the landing craft, leaving messages in case they did not survive. These letters reveal the personal cost behind strategic planning, a reminder that history is made not only by commanders, but by individual courage and sacrifice. In addition to the human element, technology played a key role. Landing crafts, naval gunfire, and air support were essential tools. Higgins boats carried soldiers to shore, while battleships and destroyers shelled German positions to weaken defenses. Paratroopers dropped behind enemy lines to disrupt communication and support the landings. Despite these preparations, the natural and man-made obstacles at Omaha Beach made it one of the deadliest battlefields of D-Day. Omaha Beach was not just a tactical challenge, but also a psychological one. Soldiers faced fear, exhaustion, and uncertainty. The noise of gunfire, the sight of comrades falling, and the chaos of the surf created an environment of extreme stress. Commanders had to maintain order, coordinate movements, and inspire courage under fire. Every decision, every action, could mean life or death. By the time the first wave landed, the stage was set for an epic confrontation. The combination of meticulous planning, fierce German defenses, and the courage of thousands of Allied soldiers would define Omaha Beach as the deadliest landing of D-Day. The events of this day would not only shape the outcome of the Normandy invasion, but also become a symbol of sacrifice, strategy, and the human cost of war. The context of Omaha Beach reveals how strategy, geography, and human courage intersected. The landing was more than a battle. It was a test of preparation, resilience, and determination. The soldiers who stepped onto the sand faced nearly insurmountable odds, setting the stage for moments of heroism, tragedy, and turning points that would echo throughout history. The story of Omaha Beach is best understood through multiple perspectives, each showing the complexity of the battle and the human experience. Human cost. Omaha Beach was a place of courage and tragedy. Thousands of soldiers faced near-certain death as they landed in the surf under machine gun fire and artillery. Personal letters and diaries reveal their thoughts before D-Day. Some wrote to mothers and fathers, expressing love and sorrow. Others left messages for siblings or future children, sharing hope, pride, and fear. Families would receive many of these letters after the soldiers had fallen, a poignant reminder of the personal cost of war. Eyewitness accounts describe soldiers helping comrades in the water, carrying the wounded across the sand, and continuing forward despite heavy losses. Every step was a fight against both the enemy and the elements. Tactical decisions. Omaha Beach was designed to be deadly. German defenses included bunkers, machine gun nests, mines, barbed wire, and obstacles in the water. Allied planners tried to neutralize these through pre-invasion bombardments, but fog, smoke, and strong German positions reduced their effectiveness. The timing of landings, coordination with naval and air support, and assignment of objectives were all critical tactical factors. Soldiers faced the difficult challenge of moving under fire while reaching objectives like the bluffs above the beach, which were key to securing the area. Every decision, from landing order to squad movements, affected the success of the mission. Leadership decisions. Allied commanders, including General Eisenhower and Major General Omar Bradley, had to balance strategy and risk. Their planning relied on intelligence, geography, and coordination among thousands of troops. German commanders, led by Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, had fortified the beach to inflict maximum casualties. Rommel's focus on strong defensive positions, crossfire from elevated cliffs, and well-placed obstacles was designed to stop the invasion at the shore. Leadership on both sides shaped the course of the battle, influencing lives and the strategic outcome. Technology and weapons. The battle showcased the importance of technology. Higgins boats delivered soldiers to shore, while naval bombardments targeted German bunkers and artillery. Artillery, machine guns, mortars, and mines were key defensive weapons for German forces. Paratroopers dropped inland to disrupt communication and reinforcements. Despite these tools, technology alone could not secure victory. The courage, coordination, and improvisation of soldiers played a critical role in overcoming obstacles. Enemy perspective. From the German side, Omaha Beach was an opportunity to repel the Allies with maximum force. Defenders watched the waves and opened fire on every landing craft. Observation posts gave them clear lines of sight, while bunkers provided cover. Soldiers were trained to shoot quickly, aiming for troops in the surf. For them, the battle was also a test of endurance and skill under overwhelming pressure. Despite facing a massive invasion, German troops inflicted heavy casualties, demonstrating the effectiveness of defensive preparation. Moral and strategic consequences. Omaha Beach was both a human tragedy and a strategic turning point. The sacrifices made by soldiers ensured the success of the Normandy invasion and ultimately contributed to the liberation of Western Europe. Yet the toll was immense. Thousands of men died or were wounded in the first hours of D-Day. The battle exemplifies the tension between military necessity and human cost. Historians recognize Omaha Beach as a defining moment in modern warfare, a combination of planning, courage, and the unforgiving realities of combat. By combining these perspectives, the story of Omaha Beach becomes more than a list of casualties and strategies. It shows the human courage, the precision and miscalculations of tactics, the role of leadership, and the impact of technology on battle outcomes. Each wave of soldiers, each defensive position, and every split-second decision contributed to a moment in history that still resonates today. The multiple angles also highlight the broader significance of Omaha Beach. While strategy and planning were essential, the personal bravery of individual soldiers determined the success of the mission. Letters, diaries, and eyewitness accounts provide insight into the emotional and psychological dimensions of the landing, revealing how ordinary men faced extraordinary circumstances. Understanding these angles prepares us for the climactic moments of D-Day, where courage, sacrifice, and strategy collided in a deadly struggle on the shores of Normandy. June 6, 1944. The first waves of Allied troops approach Omaha Beach just before dawn. The sky is gray, and a cold wind blows from the English Channel. Soldiers are packed into Higgins boats, gripping rifles, grenades, and fear. Their mission is simple in words, but deadly in reality. Land, advance, and capture the bluffs above the beach. The moment the boats hit the surf, chaos erupts. German machine guns and artillery open fire. Bullets pierce the water, striking men and shredding equipment. Mines and obstacles tear into landing craft, throwing soldiers into freezing waves. Many drown before reaching the sand. Those who make it crawl onto a beach designed to kill. Wooden stakes, metal hedgehogs, and barbed wire force them into open fire zones. Smoke, sand, and screams fill the air. Amid the carnage, soldiers fight for every step. Small squads form spontaneously, using obstacles as cover. Medics drag the wounded, while officers coordinate movements under relentless fire. Soldiers leap from trench to trench, sometimes carrying comrades who are injured. Every minute is a struggle for survival, every decision a matter of life or death. By mid-morning, small breakthroughs occur. Men scale cliffs under heavy fire, using ropes and ladders to reach German positions. Machine gun nests are destroyed with grenades or bayonets. Some soldiers climb atop bunkers, silencing guns with courage and sheer determination. These individual acts turn the tide of the beach, allowing waves behind them to land more safely. Naval and air bombardments continue, targeting bunkers and artillery positions. Though much of the German fire remains effective, the combined pressure of infantry, paratroopers inland, and naval gunfire slowly disrupts enemy defenses. Soldiers push forward inch by inch, often improvising under fire. Small groups capture key points that were meant to halt the landing entirely. By afternoon, the bluffs overlooking Omaha Beach are partially secured. Survivors of the first waves consolidate positions, organize reinforcements, and begin moving inland. Thousands of soldiers are killed or wounded, yet the beach has been taken. The success, however, comes at an immense cost. Over 2,000 Allied soldiers dead and nearly 5,000 wounded on Omaha alone. The climax of Omaha Beach is not a single moment, but a series of overlapping crises. Landing waves under fire, soldiers scaling cliffs, small units improvising under chaos, and commanders coordinating amidst confusion. The bravery, leadership, and endurance of men in the surf and on the bluffs define the turning point. Despite overwhelming German fire and fortified obstacles, Allied forces establish a foothold that enables the broader Normandy invasion. The human dimension is undeniable. Soldiers recount moments of fear, courage, and survival. Letters from that day reveal last-minute thoughts, prayers, and farewells. Every individual decision, pushing forward, helping a wounded comrade, seizing a bunker, shaped the outcome of the landing. Strategy and planning provided a framework, but the determination of soldiers made victory possible. By the end of D-Day, Omaha Beach was secured, though not without horrific casualties. The turning point was achieved through relentless courage, improvisation under fire, and the combined might of naval, air, and ground forces. The beach, once a deadly obstacle, became the gateway to Normandy. This moment set the stage for the liberation of Western Europe and demonstrated the staggering cost of achieving it. From this intense struggle, the story moves naturally to the aftermath, the toll in lives, the physical destruction, and the lasting impact on soldiers, families, and history itself. The aftermath of Omaha Beach was a scene of both triumph and tragedy. The beach was secured, but at an enormous cost. Thousands of soldiers lay dead or wounded, and the sand itself was marked by the footprints, blood, and destruction of the fiercest landing in the D-Day invasion. Allied casualties were staggering. On Omaha Beach alone, over 2,000 soldiers were killed, with nearly 5,000 wounded. Entire squads were wiped out in minutes by artillery, machine gun fire, or mines. Bodies were carried away by waves, buried in sand, or tended to by medics amid the chaos. Soldiers who survived often did so only by extraordinary courage or luck. Many described the first moments on the beach as indescribable terror, a mixture of noise, smoke, water, and fear. The physical destruction extended beyond human loss. Landing craft were destroyed or damaged. Equipment, vehicles, and supplies were lost to enemy fire or rough surf. The German fortifications, though partially neutralized, left scars across the beach, with shattered bunkers and obstacles that had claimed so many lives. The terrain itself became a lasting witness to the horrors endured. The psychological impact on survivors was profound. Soldiers carried memories of comrades falling beside them, of drowning in the surf, or being caught in relentless fire. Many experienced shock, anxiety, and survivor's guilt. Letters, diaries, and interviews reveal how soldiers struggled to process the scale of death they witnessed. These experiences would shape their lives long after the battle, leaving an enduring mark on the generation that fought at Omaha. For German defenders, the aftermath was also devastating. While they inflicted heavy casualties and temporarily slowed the invasion, they suffered enormous losses as Allied forces pushed inland. Many units were destroyed or captured, and the failure to stop the landings marked a turning point in the defense of Normandy. The Atlantic Wall, once a symbol of impenetrable defense, had failed against the overwhelming determination and preparation of the Allies. Strategically, securing Omaha Beach was essential to the success of Operation Overlord. The beach provided a critical foothold, allowing reinforcements, supplies, and vehicles to move inland. The broader Normandy campaign depended on the ability of soldiers to hold the beach under fire and advance to capture towns, roads, and key positions. Despite the tremendous cost, the operation succeeded, ensuring that the Allied invasion of France could continue. Historical assessments highlight the dual nature of Omaha Beach: tactical success and human tragedy. Allied planning, coordination, and bravery achieved the objective, but the price in lives and suffering was immense. Soldiers' letters and accounts illustrate the personal sacrifices behind the strategy. Many families received messages from loved ones who would never return. These letters document fear, hope, courage, and love, providing a deeply personal perspective on the battle. The aftermath also emphasized lessons for military strategy. The combination of preparation, technology, and sheer human will was necessary to overcome fortified positions. The importance of naval bombardments, airborne troops, and logistics became clear. Omaha Beach illustrated that even the most carefully planned operations could face unexpected challenges, and that individual courage could influence the course of history. Omaha Beach remains a symbol of sacrifice, endurance, and determination. Its aftermath shaped not only the Normandy campaign, but also the broader narrative of World War II. The bravery of soldiers, the strategic planning of commanders, and the grim reality of combat converged to create a moment that defined the D-Day invasion. The cost of success was clear, yet the victory at Omaha Beach became a foundation for the liberation of Western Europe. Omaha Beach stands as one of the most extraordinary and harrowing moments in World War II. The soldiers who landed on June 6, 1944, faced a deadly combination of natural obstacles, fortified defenses, and relentless fire. Yet they pressed forward, driven by duty, courage, and the belief in a larger mission: the liberation of Europe from Nazi occupation. Their bravery transformed a deadly beach into a foothold that changed the course of history. The battle reveals the true cost of war. Thousands of lives were lost in a matter of hours. Families received letters, sometimes written minutes before a soldier fell, filled with love, hope, and farewell. These personal documents remind us that history is made not only by strategy and tactics, but by individual human choices, fears, and sacrifices. Each soldier's courage was a piece of a larger, carefully planned operation, and each life lost a testament to the price of freedom. Omaha Beach also highlights the intersection of preparation, leadership, and human resilience. Strategy alone could not guarantee success. Technology, bombardments, and planning created opportunities, but it was the determination of soldiers, medics, and commanders on the ground that ultimately turned the tide. The battle teaches that even in the most overwhelming circumstances, human resolve and collective effort can achieve the seemingly impossible. The legacy of Omaha Beach endures. It reminds us of the courage and sacrifice required in moments of extreme danger. It shows the importance of planning, coordination, and adaptability in warfare. Most of all, it honors the human dimension of history, the lives, stories, and letters of those who faced fear and uncertainty, yet acted with extraordinary courage. Omaha Beach is more than a battle. It is a symbol of resilience, strategy, and sacrifice. Its story continues to inspire, teach, and remind us of the profound cost of freedom and the enduring power of human bravery in the face of unimaginable odds. If the bravery and sacrifice of Omaha Beach moved you, take a moment to honor the soldiers who fought and fell on June 6, 1944. Subscribe to our channel for more cinematic World War II documentaries, where history is brought to life through real events, real stories, and unforgettable moments. Like and share this video to help others understand the courage, strategy, and human cost behind D-Day. Comment below, which story from Omaha Beach resonated with you most? We want to hear your thoughts and keep the memory of these heroes alive. Turn on notifications so you don't miss our next documentary, and continue exploring history that shaped the world.